The Jack Mason Hydrotimer. Actually, I have a little bit of a story for this watch. I'll start off with a story, then we're going to talk about the watch. So, I went to the Worn and Wound Wind Up Watch Fair 2023 in New York. I only went Saturday. It was crazy packed, but of course, the Jack Mason crew was there, kind of like right across from where the downstairs, stairway is. So I got to hang out with them. I went there not wearing a watch, thinking like, well, I'll buy a watch and I'll wear it out because it's a pain in the butt to try on watches when you're wearing a watch. Well, I had mentioned that to the crew at Jack Mason and Peter Chow and the crew there. And he's like, here, take this. And he had like a couple of these white dial ones sitting out. And I put it on and it fit perfect. It was already like perfect for my wrist. So I said, well, I'm going to go walk around and stuff. He's like, yeah, no, just take it. Just wear it. Now, of course, I mean, we know each other and he knows that I'm solid with it and everything like that. But so, yeah, I just started walking around with this on my wrist and kind of got very comfortable on wrist. I forgot about it for a little bit. I actually left the show, went to have lunch and grabbed a pint and came back. And I'm like, oh, I got to get this watch back. So later on that evening, before I had to wrap up the show, I took the watch back and they're wiping it down and stuff like that, and they're like, no, just take it and do a video. So I mean, that's the short story of it. So I ended up leaving the show with that. I only did buy a couple other watches while I was there, but I wore this one out. So pretty dang cool. It was very cool to have that experience. Now I don't think everyone's going to be able to do what I just did. It's because I have the channel and stuff, obviously. But anyway, the guys are just super cool. They're always fun to hang out with and everything and meet up at the shows. Not to mention, they actually make a pretty nice little watch. So let's dig into the watch. This is a 41 millimeter wide case, 47 lug to lug. This one was definitely a show model. And it might even be a prototype because they do have a scratch resistant coating on them, but this one does have some scratches on it. But legit, man, everyone was handling this thing. So it was getting banged around and stuff. The thickness on this is only 13.1 millimeter, but that's including that boxed sapphire crystal. So it's overall a pretty dang thin watch. It's a 300 meter water depth rating on this thing as well. So it's thinner than an SKX for sure. The lug width here is 20 millimeter, and this bracelet tapers down nicely to 16 millimeter. You can spec this out with this bracelet, which is the 3-link, which has the nice short, very comfortable links, or you can spec it out with the 7-link, which is, I don't know how else to describe it. The J. Lewis one or whatever. I don't know. Like I got to be careful what I say. It's styled after a bracelet that rhymes with Jubilee. I don't know. You guys know what I'm talking about. They both come with this clasp. If you get it on metal bracelet, they're $799. If you get it on a strap option instead of the bracelet, it's only $729. If you wear it all into bracelets, get one of the bracelets. The bracelets are great. They taper down nice. You have screw pins. And check out this clasp. It's super thin, very sleek, and it has the toolless on-the-fly quick adjust. So no problems there. Worth the $70 premium over the strap variant. Totally worth it. So let's zoom in a little bit. I'm dealing with new equipment here, guys, so bear with me. Okay, there we go. So we have ceramic bezel insert. This is actually kind of a matte ceramic, so it has a really, it's supposed to be black, but because they did it in matte, it actually has like a dark gray appeal to it, but it looks great. It really fits the vibe of the watch. You have a little bit of a textured dial. You have that Texas star. Where's my pointer finger at? That was an interesting noise. Sorry about that. You have your Texas star here. Of course, you have the red, white, and blue tail on the balance for the seconds hand. And you have the Jack Mason iconic handset there. Nice applied markers, very legible. Signed crown is 6.5 millimeter, keeping that 300 meter water depth rating. 120 click bezel on this thing, very smooth and consistent all the way around. No play in it. It is solid lockup. And like I said, I think this one's a prototype because it's misaligned just a little bit. But we're going to move past that. This is designed in Texas, assembled in the USA, And the movement, which is a Miyota 9039, is regulated. Yeah, you see those X's there? That means it's a prototype. Is regulated in the USA to plus minus 5 seconds per day. 42-hour power reserve on that movement, and 4 hertz sweep. I don't even know if I need to zoom in. I think I can just go like that. It actually shows up better. I don't need to zoom anymore. I can just bring it closer to the lens. I'm still learning here, guys. Very good looking watch. Very cool case shape. Very rounded and smooth on the edges. They have that root beer GMT. I've shown the GMT on here before too, not the root beer one. Or root beer, I'm sorry. Dr. Pepper. Oh my God. Dr. Pepper, because that's a Texas brand as well. Yeah, sorry I goofed that up. So used to the icons out there. Let's pop this on my 7 1/4 inch wrist, and of course we'll do a lume shot as well. This should have a bi-color application if I remember right, but you can see on wrist it looks great, it wears great, it feels great on wrist. The price point, yeah, it's a little above that $500 comfort zone that I used to talk about. Well, years ago, guys, with inflation and everything like that, I think reality is this one being at $799 or $800 is probably the new $500 range. Think about that. With that being changed, this watch is an incredible value. It's a great looking watch. There's some other colors too. I like this one though. And of course that Dr. Pepper one is pretty sweet too, which I don't know if there's any of those left. Let's give this a quick blast with the UV light. Let's turn off the studio lights and see how well this lume performs. And then I got to get this watch back to the crew over there. There you go. You do have that bi-color application. Really, the cardinal positions are done in green, the minute hand, and of course the triangle on the bezel and all the way up to the 15. All done in green because those are important markers when you're using this as a dive watch, which none of us are going to do. And that blue is really good. It pairs up nicely with my pointer finger. Thanks for watching, guys. I'll see you on the next vid.